Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks again for tuning into another video. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to get started with Capture One version 12, and particularly for your Fujifilm images, how you get started. I know in a few groups and forums that I'm part of, this software is quite talked about. A lot of people are interested about it. It offers perpetual license like Lightroom used to, not anymore. But it also has a subscription-based license. So I'll put a link in the video if you're interested in getting the trial. You can use my link there, and that basically will give me a small commission. Won't cost you anything more, but it'll give me a small commission if you end up purchasing this software. But anyway, so let's get started with the video. I want to show you a few quick tips to get started with Capture One. The first thing you're going to do once you input your photos into Capture One is go into the quick panel. And that is where you will start editing all your photos. Now, when you start editing some of those things, let's say I pull the contrast up, I adjust the brightness of the image, I adjust the saturation. To see the before and after, you have the option to do that at each and every panel. If you hold the Alt key and hit the back arrow there, this one here, you can see the before after. And you'll see that for every panel. Here, you can do that, here you can do that. There isn't one global one. Now, there is a setting, but it's not added for some reason in their toolbar. So first thing I want you to do is add that option. So you can do a global before and after of the entire image. To do that, right click on the toolbar and click on Customize Toolbar. Drag the reset adjustment onto our toolbar here. And I'm gonna move it on this side, hit done. And now this option will basically reset the entire image. However, again, if I do Alt or Option click on that button, it will do a global before and after. So let's pull the shadows up, different modules. Let's crank up the clarity, structure, and see if I do Alt and click, that only does that for that particular module. Now if I click the button that we added on the toolbar, Alt and Option click, and that shows me a before image and an after image. So that's the global before and after, like you do in Lightroom, or used to, with the backslash key to see the before and after. So you can do that same thing in Capture One using this option. Also, if you don't Alt click, it'll reset the whole image. So in Lightroom, you have that button on the bottom right of your screen that says reset. That's essentially what this does. So if I reset that, this is going to reset the entire image for me. All right, so the second thing I want to share with you is how to find those profiles that you're used to seeing in Lightroom. You know which ones I'm talking about, the Velvia, Astia, Providia, and so forth. Eterna, for example, in the XD3 and so on. Those are not here in the standard quick panel. You have to go into this color panel where you see this section here, which is called base characteristics. And you will see the ICC profile that's assigned to your camera will be the camera generic. So XD2 generic, XD3 generic, and so on when you import those photos. Now here in the curves, now the curve sounds like it's a curve, but it's actually the camera calibration. If you click on drop down option here, you can choose from the various different options available, and you can see the preview updates pretty quickly. So for this one, if I want to use Eterna, which is the cinematic look, that's the curve that you apply. So use the curves option in the color panel to apply essentially the profile, the Fujifilm color profile that you want for that particular image. So that's number two. Number three, you know the white and black slider, that if you've seen a lot of videos on YouTube on Lightroom on how to adjust that, basically the white slider lets you set a white point and the black slider lets you set a black point. So it basically gives you the ability to stretch the histogram so that you have a black point and a white point on the image, and that gives you a nice good contrast in the overall image. To do that, you don't have any white and black sliders here. As you can see in the exposure panels, they're not there. high dynamic range, there's nothing like that. For that, you have to actually come to this histogram or exposure panel option. And here you have this thing called levels. These are similar levels, so there's no actual slider. Let me make it clear. There's no black and white slider in Capture One. The only way you do this is through the levels panel. That's the only way I've found so far that seems to work. I'm sure you can do that with the curves as well. But here, if I drag this black point, you'll see that the blacks get darker and darker in the image. And basically when I'm happy with the black that's in the image, I can let go. And similarly for the white point, I can drag the slider across until I feel that I have set a good white point, and I can let go there. So now that using levels panel, I can see the difference. Let's check the before and after. Alt click before. Yeah, very flat looking image. Now a lot more contrasty image. Before, after. So there you go. Those are some of the quick tips on getting started with editing your Fujifilm images in Capture One 12. Thanks again for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments. I haven't completely switched over to Capture One just yet. I have a lot invested in Lightroom at the moment, so I'm not gonna switch over to Capture One, but I do come in here and edit the odd image and play around with Capture One and get more comfortable as I go. So if you got any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. If you got any other tips that you want to share with other viewers who might be watching this video, please leave that in the comments down below as well. Once again, before I go, I'll put the link up in the video and in the description. If you want to try Capture One yourself, use that link, and if you end up subscribing or buying the perpetual license, you know, they'll give me a small commission, which will help me keep creating this content for you guys. So until the next video, guys, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.